नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सबका ट्रू इंटरव्यू सीरीज के नए वीडियो में, जहां हम एचआर और इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट से उनकी जर्नी और स्पेशलाइज फील्ड के बारे में करियर गाइडेंस और इंटरव्यू टिप्स लेते हैं। मैं हूं कुंवर वैभव सिंह, फाउंडर ऑफ TrueCV, और आज हमारे साथ है एचआर प्रोफेशनल विद मोर देन अ डेकेड एक्सपीरियंस विद ग्लोबल ब्रांड्स लाइक Domino's, KFC, Pizza Hut, PNB Housing, and now he is the head HR of Kama Ayurveda. Please welcome Mr. Abhishek Ram. थैंक यू सो मच सर, आपका
Thank you,
यहाँ पे
Vaibhav.
आने के लिए और हमारा इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट करने
Thank
के
you
लिए।
so much. Thank you for inviting me.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। सो सर, सबसे पहले शुरू करते हैं, हमारे व्यूअर्स को कुछ अपनी जर्नी के बारे में बताइए। कैसे
Sure.
आपने शुरू किया एंड हाउ इट हैज बीन, द जर्नी ऑफ बिकमिंग अ हेड एचआर ऑफ ब्रांड लाइक कामा।
So I'll say I've been very blessed to work with amazing brands initial start of my career. So I never was in HR. I started with sales. So
ओह,
so it was just by luck that I landed in HR. So I was used to do hardcore sales. In fact, road पे जो आप dictionary बेचते थे, I used to sell Oxford dictionary. 2006 MBA pass out. I did my all schooling in Lucknow, so I was born and brought up in Lucknow. So my father was a priest, so I stayed larger part of my life in the church, and that's how we grown up in a very middle class environment. But then this thing came up, and उस समय बहुत होता था 2004 and 6 during this that MBA, and just like another MBA aspirant, I thought I'll do an MBA and I'll get wings and I'll fly. So I also pursued an MBA. It was from a very average college, I'll say, from Lucknow. But then the reality hit hard. So I remember I picked up a campus placement in insurance
okay,
as a sales manager.
okay,
And the first 1 month I couldn't do sales. Then
zero
sales.
okay,
And then the branch manager used to call me and used to say, Abhishek, it's not working. Either you resign or you do sales. So I said, okay, let me resign. So then I opted for a very hardcore sales job, and I started selling Oxford dictionary on schools, roads, houses, everywhere. So सुबह 8 बजे से लेके जाते थे बैग में लेके 3 डिक्शनरी, एंड शाम को 7-8 बजे तक बेचते थे। अगर एक भी बिक जाता था तो हो जाता था। So at that time, 2006, I remember Lucknow was expanding with malls, and Fun Cinemas करके एक ब्रांड है जी ग्रुप
Right.
का, अभी सिनेपोलिस ने ले लिया है। So they came up with the first property in Lucknow, and I went there for a ticket checker job.
टिकट चेकर जॉब।
Yes, though I was an MBA, I went there for a ticket checker job, and I won't name, but I went with a colleague. We both were in the same company, and luckily we both are in a very reputed HR companies
Oh.
now. And she's also a head HR of a similar industry. So we both went for a ticket checker job, and I was really blessed that there was a lady in the HR team, and I owe my entire career to that lady.
Oh.
And I every year I send her a thank you note. Every year, whenever I change a company, whenever I've grown, whenever I've got a promotion, I send her a thank you note. Her name is Saloni, and Saloni was during that time the assistant manager for Fun Cinema. So she saw me that, Abhishek, you look presentable, you are an MBA, dual specialization marketing HR. Why do you want to do ticket checker job? And I go, so what's in store for me? So she said, उस समय HR में time office होता था. Time office used to be like anyone who's coming, you need to manage attendance, CV आते थे, you need to just pile in the CVs, run the payroll and all that low level HR jobs, I'll say, starting job. She said, will you be interested to do this? So coming from sales background, I just asked one question: is this a desk job or it's a sales job? He said, you will be sitting just inside the cabin with the HR manager, you'll be just assisting when they are ready. I mean, and I was very happy. So that's how I think so my HR journey started, 2006, and I was very bold in taking my career moves. 2007 I was with Fun Cinemas. 2008 was a very interesting year for me when I decided to quit very early part of my career and join a very vibrant company, which is Devyani International Limited. And just from one property of Fun Cinemas, I got to work with 4 brands, which was KFC, Pizza Hut, Costa, and Disney artists at that time.
Okay.
So I was very raw, just 1.5 year experienced guy, and they told me that you have to manage all the Pizza Hut, KFC in UP market, and you need to take care of it. So कुछ नहीं आता था. I was because I have never worked alone, but somehow I managed. In just 1 year, I opened the first KFC in Lucknow, then the first Pizza Hut, the dine-in experience Pizza Hut, then Costa Coffee in Lucknow. 2009, what happened is when एक साल complete हुए, they asked me that are you interested to take up a global role? I said, what global role it is? They said, it's Africa, Nigeria. And I remember I said, yes, I would love to go. So one thing that was that I was very bold in taking my career moves. I never thought that it's Nigeria. And I said, okay, I'll take Nigeria. And I remember when I didn't have a passport, I went to apply a passport. And when I went to Indian embassy, they said, you please go on your own risk. We don't guarantee you to come back. So Nigeria is a very third world country. It's one of the most notorious geographies of the world. 22 years of age, 23 years of age, I was sent to Nigeria, and I that time got exposed to Mr. Ravikant Jaipuria, who owns the entire Devyani. I was working very closely with Yum South Africa, so I remember the CEO was Bruce, who was working. So that gave me a lot of confidence because very early part of my career, working from an executive HR, directly handling a country like Nigeria, and I remember the first 3 months were really tough because we were not aware. It was a core team. We were just understanding the market. So, so I'm very proud that we opened the first 3 restaurants, got the team, trained them. Then I was sent for another mission in Nepal, and again 2009 it was all happening. Then went to Nepal, did the hiring, brought the entire team, trained them here. Then again, and this during this time at 2010, end of 2010. Walmart India was expanding in the northern territories, and again I'll say I was really blessed that this thing happened. During that time, Walmart came up with a joint venture with Bharti, and Bharti came up with Easy Day stores.
Correct.
And I was given as a district HR manager for the entire UP district. So I entered again a different world, move from hospitality to retail. First flavor of retail, and amazing experience. I worked there for almost 2 years. Then picked up the biggest role of my life, that was with ING Life Insurance. From an individual contributor in 2012, I remember I joined ING Life, and as a regional head HR for Central and East India. And then I had a huge team. It was a very glorious HR role. You need to have manage a TA team, engagement team, and I was managing 5 channels for them. By that time, my confidence was growing really high because every 2 years, either my role was getting changed or my expansion was happening in my life. And during that time, I remember I got exposed to Bombay for the first time. So born and brought up in Lucknow, and always being in the terrains of Lucknow and UP, for the first time I was given a challenging situation to handle West India. And West, you all know that West market, India market, North, South and West. West is a very different market compared to what North and South is. I started operating the Western market. I loved Bombay then, and I enjoyed being in Bombay. I loved the professionalism Bombay brought in. And that time, I think so, I was 30 years of age at that time, and I decided to move to Bombay. Leave my very comfortable home in Lucknow, my job in Lucknow, and I decided to, and I was looking aggressively to get something in Bombay where I could be stationed in Bombay. That time, I think so, I was really lucky again that it is said that एक बार insurance में घुस जाओ जल्दी निकलते नहीं हो. And I got a call from Domino's just because of my background of ex-Pizza, KFC, hospitality. So I got a very good job from Domino's. They wanted to hire me for Bombay West as talent acquisition head. I picked up that role. I think so. That was an amazing journey. One year, 1.5 year, I worked in, and then they moved me to corporate office. That made my career. I think so. I give a lot to ING Life and Domino's because the 4.5 years that I worked in corporate office in Domino's, my 6 year stint in Domino's, 4.5 year in corporate office, 3 roles, and the amazing stakeholder management that I learned. So I started with sourcing, then I moved to HR transformation projects, Then the last 1.5 year was into HR business partnering
Nice.
and a business size of Domino. So for the first time, I was exposed to this concept of business partnering, and with this manpower, like crazy manpower. And during that time, we were competing with Swiggy, Zomato, like how quick and agile we have to be in terms of getting our HR strategies in place so that hiring a बहुत challenge होता था
बहुत ज़्यादा.
because delivery boys, and we were the only professional company who used to have so many delivery boys at that time.
True.
So that happened, and then I think so. Then I moved from Domino's, and then there were some small stints, but then I moved to PNB Housing, and again PNB Housing. It's a very different experience. I'll say for the first time I handled something which I've never been exposed. So I picked up the HR technology, corporate HR, and payroll for PNB Housing, and it was another 1.5 year stint with them. But during this time, when I first ran payroll for a listed company, I realized it's though it's underrated, but it's not easy. And then the entire horizon was completed for me, and I became a complete overall package of HR. And I realized now it's the time to take the leap, the giant leap, and that's when Kama Ayurveda happened in my life. So it happened in exactly end of beginning of 2022, and July I said yes to them. So I remember that July I was in talking to the founders. I really loved his vision, and during that time the company was not being taken over by Pooj, which is our global partner company now. But that time the vision of the founder was immense, and I'll say I'm so lucky, blessed to be making the right moves. And I joined Kama in 2022, and the end of the year 2022 the integration was announced, and we became a global company, part of a global company. And now I am here sitting with you, so representing Kama Ayurveda and my global partner Pooj. So that's the journey, I think. So very exciting, and the only message that I can say is that you have to be very bold in your moves. You cannot stay in your comfort zone, because if you stay in your comfort zone
Absolutely.
and you don't want to take the opportunities your environment bring in, you'll miss the bus. So that way, I'm very lucky.
Awesome, sir. Thank you for sharing, and what an amazing journey.
Thank
Even
you,
we know each other for so many years, but I also didn't know so many things. Though I know about that PNBs,
Yes.
one of my very close friend has they replaced the position, but there's so many things happened in past, and what a roller coaster ride it has been.
True.
Amazing, and thanks to Saloni, if I'm
Yes.
mentioning right,
Yes.
for
She's-
bringing an amazing person,
Yeah.
HR in the industry, much needed friend. So thank you so much once again. So this takes to our next question, that अगर HR नहीं होते तो तो क्या होते, या क्या बनना चाहते थे, क्या इमेज
So,
थी खुद की?
वैभव, बहुत अमेजिंग क्वेश्चन है ये. एंड सो अगर एचआर नहीं होते तो आई वुड हैव बीन फॉर श्योर अ प्रोफेसर,
Oh.
because I love history.
Hmm.
I did very well in studies. The except 10th का minus कर दो, 12th, graduation and MBA. So I've always been a topper. So in
Wow.
fact, I love. I used to spend hours and hours studying, and so I would love to take up my teaching, or even I'm still interested if something comes up. I
Oh.
would love to take up teaching as a profession. But lately I've developed something like अगर अभी HR नहीं होता तो अब क्या कर सकते हो? So lately I think so, from all courtesy, all kudos, or everything goes to Domino's. I have become very creative in my personality, so I love anchoring a lot.
Okay.
I do, in fact, from last 8 years, I think so, I have anchored all the events that happen in HR. So I do a lot of anchoring, I do a lot of open mics. I love dancing,
Nice.
so
Nice.
I still do stage performances for the, and my poor employees have to bear with because I'm the HR head, so they have to clap also. So, but yes, I think so I have a creative side also, and I would love to become an anchor now,
Nice.
because that is something I enjoy doing it, and I think that's my real side. I love talking, so it comes out of naturally.
Naturally too.
So अगर अब होता है choice, तो अब I'm sure it will go towards this side.
Amazing. And we have always seen you very groomed and, you know, focused or very aware of what you're wearing and how you're dressed. I mean, since the beginning.
Mhm.
So I think that should work, and this comes naturally to you.
Right.
All right, great. So HR नहीं होते तो शायद प्रोफेसर होते, और अब we could see you,
Yeah.
doing it professionally, anchoring. Okay. Okay. So now, as a head HR, what is your experience? You this is what you expected it to be, or you had something else in your mind?
I'll say yes, I have signed up for this. So it's a very different. I'll say head HR. The concept of head HR is firstly you need to understand that you manage careers and you manage emotions of people, and that is not easy. So there, no matter how good you are as a person, you have to be an evil in someone's life, and that brings with the role. How maturely you handle that part. There are hard decisions, there are good decisions, there are highs and lows. That's part of your life. So I always expected. I've seen. I'll say that I'm very blessed to work with a lot of good industry leaders. I've seen their stress points. I've seen that this role comes with a lot of responsibility. So yeah, I have signed up, and it's not easy. It is just that you have to be mentally strong. It is not, as an head HR, you need to see that you are the guardian of the culture. You are the guardian of the governance model. You need to walk the talk.
Correct.
So if these things are there in your head, I'm sure the stress will be there, but there's always a good stress. There's always a chance to perform well under stress, and that's so. My passion is always every day is a new day. So that gives me the kick, and I enjoy doing it.
Great.
Yeah.
तो पहले लगता था ऐसे कि यार हेड एचआर बन जाएंगे तो आराम रहेगा?
बहुत लगता था, बिल्कुल आराम नहीं।
बिल्कुल नहीं।
I will not say that it's like it is like something which you can't do. It is something you can really do, but I will also say that you need to be very well prepared and ready to embrace what's happening in and around. And that's a very important thing right now, that HR capabilities have changed. Initially, and we all have gone through that. We used to be called the Rangoli HRs. So I think so. We have all evolved, and now when we all deliver projects on cost optimizations, manpower optimizations, business partnering, trusted advisors, so that thing has evolved a lot. So I'll say that you need to be very much evolved now on your capability part. You need to embrace like technology here. So I think so initially Excel, हमारे time पे Excel होता था. So I remember interviews में, do you know how to work on Excel? Do you know how to do VLOOKUPs? Now it is more on how do you do prompt engineering on AI. And just to say that now even ChatGPT is old. Yeah. You have better, higher versions than ChatGPT. Bilkul. So how well versed are you with those versions? So yeah.
Great. So now, what's next? You're already a head HR with such a huge brand. You have gone a long way. How many years it's been?
So it's my first stint as head of HR for a good global company. It's been almost 2 years I'm heading the HR. And I'll say that I still see my role with them for the next 3-4 years for sure. Because very recently the global company has been set up in India, and currently I'm heading for both the companies now. So and my journey has been from a founder-led company to a global-led company. So I think so HR has played a very critical role in this, like bringing the ways of working, getting the culture, transforming an Indian company to a global company. So I want to stay in this organization for at least 3-4 years for sure.
There is too much to do.
I see my role getting evolved every year at least. So see, as an HR, you need to have a very long-term vision. Your strategic focus has to be there. So I have, anyways, my strategic vision for 2027 is very clear. Wow. So I know what I need to do as an HR head here, 25, 26 and 27. So at least 27 I am sorted. I will give time to this company. I would love to, but you never know how things move on. We have seen there are opportunities which comes in between. There are
Hmm.
high and lows. So no one can predict future. After COVID, I think so no one can predict future.
Absolutely.
But I think so for next 15 odd years, I'll see myself in this industry because I love people. I love talking to people. I love managing emotions.
Hmm.
I'm not as brave as you are to enter into an entrepreneurial. I feel the strength that I have can be more evolved, can be more used if I am at a job.
Hmm.
So I see myself at least 10-15 years. हाँ मजा आएगा कि इसके बाद कौन
इसके
सी
बाद
कंपनी वो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट
that's
थिंग
a
बट
different.
आई लव डूइंग द जॉब हियर.
So, I was coming from, you know, question what you wanted to, say कि head HR के बाद अब next level, क्या हो सकता है? Because I don't see many CEOs from the HR background. What you have to say on that?
That is true, and but I will say that it's changing. There are a lot of success stories in the market. In fact, my erstwhile boss in PNB Housing.
Hmm.
He moved from HR. He's the CEO of PNB Housing Vertical
Oh,
now. So that's a success story.
right.
And Meera Nair, I'll say if you know Meera Nair, who was the CHRO for Unilever, is now I think so on a leadership role with Chanel.
Hmm.
So you have industry new people from HR. I think so. More important is for HR now to understand that how do we get a boardroom seat. That
Hmm.
comes with the business acumen.
Correct.
So we all need to first understand that we should also focus that the HR goals are aligned with the business goals.
True.
So we should not strive to be the CEO, or we should not strive to be okay. We should have become the
Hmm.
CEO or CEO. I think so. You have a lot to do as an HR head. Also,
Hmm.
you can contribute a lot to the business, and you should proudly sit and say in the boardroom that after I think so the COGS or the manufacturing cost, we have the biggest cost. The
Hmm.
manpower cost is the biggest cost.
Yes.
So I think so. We all should feel proud of it. We
Hmm.
all should behave like a
A
salesperson.
contributor, yeah.
Yeah. So I strongly feel that there is too much to do as an HR head
HNI.
also.
Great, absolutely right. So during this journey, जैसे आपने बोला कि अभी एटलीस्ट 15 years तो आप और देखते हैं कि इन
Sure.
एचआर हेड चाहे इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ ग्रो करेंगे और सम बिगर रोल ड्यूरिंग दिस जर्नी यू एवर फेल्ट अ नीड ऑफ अ कोच और मेंटोर या कोई आपका कोई मेंटोर या कोच रहा आपको और डू यू थिंक इज इट
So
इम्पोर्टेंट?
I absolutely important, and it's just that I'll say that God has been really kind, and I've been really, really blessed with the right coaches at the right time. And this Nigeria wouldn't have happened if Dr. Virendra Pratap Singh wouldn't have been. Dr. VP Singh used to be the director HR for RJ Corp.
Okay.
And I remember when he picked me up, he was the first person to say that Abhishek, if you don't move outside Lucknow,
Hmm.
you'll become a dinosaur. So he coached me a lot. That
Hmm.
how do you? In fact, he coached me to an extent that how do you write professional emails when you are
Hmm.
working with global partners and all.
Hmm.
Which books do you read? I still remember the book he gave me was A Go Getter by Peter V. Kind. So that book became my strong foundation. So
Great.
amazing coach. After that, I think so. I had very good coaches in Domino's. And you know Aman, so Aman has been my mentor. Aman is still my mentor. I'll say he has been a huge mentor. The entire business acumen part, the business partnering, I have
Hmm.
learned from him. The CHRO at that time, Biplab, I think so. He was a very great coach to me. Right now, I think so. I have one of the best coach that I can ask for.
Hmm.
So my current colleague in Kama, he comes from a military background. He's colonel. So he is the CEO of the company, and he is my mentor coach right now. The founder is my mentor. I think so. Mentorship is really important because we all need that sounding board. We all need
बिल्कुल.
a shoulder. We all need directions. And at right time, I think so. Life brings you in crossroad, and you need to choose the right path. And at
Hmm.
times, you need coaches. And I think the sports, if you play sports, you know how important mentorship
Absolutely.
and coach is. That emotional quotient
Hmm.
that comes in and that right sense of guidance the coach brings in, combined with your efforts, your energy, I think so yields better results. So I'm really blessed that I think so every company I've been blessed to have the right coaches, and it's really critical, guys. If you are out, I think so we all should aim to get a coach these days. You should always seek to help from industry experts. If you are working with good bosses, try to bring your relationship to a level where they coach you, they guide you.
Hmm.
So yes, absolutely important, and we all know it's critical.
Absolutely. And as a person and as a brand True CV, we also believe the same. अभी हमने बताया भी कि अमन सर से मेरी कुछ दिन पहले ही बात हुई. मैंने बोला
Right.
उनको कि मैं मिलना
Mm.
चाहता हूँ. I'll be meeting him soon. और as a brand True CV, we really want people to have that access. Like we were, like I would say, God has been kind to
Mm.
us, और हम लोग थोड़े लकी थे जो ऐसे लोगों के साथ काम करने को
Right.
मिला. मुझे देव सर से बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, और अमन सर से. लेकिन बहुत सारे ऐसे अर्बन लोनलीनेस और रूरल अनअवेयरनेस इतनी है
Mhm.
कि वो एक्सेस नहीं हो पाता. सो थ्रू ट्रू सीवी वी रियली वांट, इफ समबडी इज लुकिंग फॉर अ जॉब वेयर इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन इज देयर, और मे बी समबडी स्टक एट अ करियर. कितनी बार हमारे साथ होता है और हम उनसे बात करते हैं. मैं बिजनेस में स्टक होता हूँ तो मैं कॉल करता हूँ और पूछता हूँ कि क्या कर सकते हैं. So we are also trying to provide same platform, that there would be a person, a coach to you, who would be assisting you till you get
Mhm.
maybe the next move in your career or that new job, और वो आपको जब भी आप इंटरव्यू दे के आते हो तो वो आपको हेल्प करेगा. So we are
Great.
just trying to create that
I think that's the
ecosystem for
best thing you
people.
can do for the society.
Yeah. और आप लोगों को बुला के, मतलब जितनी भी आपकी जर्नी और नॉलेज है, हर कोई बहुत बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. और somebody, आप खुद सोचिए कि जो आपकी जर्नी रही, somebody who is starting as a sales, और वो सोचता होगा अब यार आगे क्या होगा, वो ये
Right.
इंटरव्यू और आपका देखेगा तो
Right.
be really very motivated.
Right.
उसको ये समझ में आएगा कि यार I am not gonna get
Mm.
anything right away, but if I continue working and taking bold decisions, there is good thing or great thing yet to come.
True.
ऑलराइट. सो आपने नाइजीरिया का जिक्र
Hmm.
किया था, और इससे पहले भी आपने बताया अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में कि नेपाल और नाइजीरिया अभी भी you're
नहीं.
handling different countries.
In my current company, though, I'm handling India market,
अच्छा.
but I work closely with APAC teams and
Okay.
the team there. But I was stationed in Nigeria
अच्छा.
and for a smaller time for Nepal, because Nepal I went there to do the hiring and then bring.
Okay.
But Nigeria for a year I was stationed.
अच्छा, नाइजीरिया में
एक साल
एक
पूरा
साल तक आप वहाँ.
Station there. I remember Abuja, Lagos. We were at station, and then we had a small stint with Abuja.
So have you noticed any change in human resources perspective, that
It is. To be
Yeah.
honest, I think so. All the markets have the different ask. If I talk about Nigeria, so that was a very different experience, and that of course Nigeria was at that time a third world country, and India had an upper edge. But then they were slow and towards the growth. But if I go when I travel to Europe or when I'm visiting Southeast Asia, I see a very different HR approach. The HR practices that they are adopting, the global HR practices that they talk and adopt, we are picking up in India, we'll say, but India has still more passion towards, I'll say, that we are more business partners. We like to work on cost projects, we like to more focus on recruitment and all. The global companies more focused towards DEI, diversity, inclusion, work-life balance. So it is complete different. I'll say even in my company, when I see the HR practices that the European countries manage or the UK team do, and what we do in India, it's quite different. So, but yes, I am also seeing that there are a lot of ways of working that getting integration. Integration is happening, and India is a very talented country, I'll say, because in the talent that India produces, the HR compliances that India handles, the payroll challenges we handle, the recruitment challenges we handle,
बिल्कुल.
the people issues that we handle. I think so. India has lot on the platter. So I'll say that India is no more less. If you work in India, do not feel that you will not be able to work somewhere else. In fact, somewhere else, I'll say that you might find easier because India has a lot of complex. You know, if
बिल्कुल.
you need to run one payslip, there are
Yeah,
so many laws in India, starting
correct.
from minimum wage to PF to ESIC to
Absolutely.
bonus. So, though every country has these laws,
Hmm.
but yes, India has a very complex
System.
environment, ecosystem. So, I'll say yes, it's different, but there are a lot of ways of working that we
Hmm.
see that now a lot of global practice. And good part is that a lot of global companies have started coming to India.
Hmm.
And we both have worked
Yeah.
in a global company, Domino's, where we saw that how the good practices of Dunkin' or Domino's were
True.
coming in, and we were adopting it, and we were
Absolutely.
working in their ways. So I'll say if these things, these companies and these culture keep on having or keep on there, you will see a very different HR in next 4 5 years because the way we are embracing technology now,
Correct.
it's a game changer. The way
Yes.
HR, Indian HRs are embracing technology, the way we are being exposed to, will be very soon equivalent to what other markets are.
Absolutely. So थोड़ा सा मूव करते हैं towards talent acquisition and hiring and interview tips.
Right.
This is also one of the part जो हमारे इस
For
conversation
sure.
में हम लोग जानना चाहते हैं आपका पर्सपेक्टिव कि एज एन हेड HR, एज अ टैलेंट एक्विजिशन लीड जब आपने काम किया तो कौन सी ऐसी 3 क्वालिटीज आप देखते थे लोगों के अंदर while hiring them? What are the 3
So
most important
first
qualities?
quality I'll say which you'll ask to any TA guy is the attitude. The attitude plays the most biggest role. I'll say that attitude that you bring into the job table, and it starts with the way you enter, the energy, the vibe. Because we all interviewers in the first 2 3 minutes we make a mind whether you want to continue with that interview or you don't. And that is where your introduction, your attitude, your overall persona, the way you talk, the vibe, the energy you brings in, and then of course, so I after the attitude, I of course see the fitment part. So how is the knowledge, the skill, the exposure is. So for me, it's knowledge, skill, and exposure. Do you have the knowledge for that job? Which means if I'm looking for an HR manager, is the HR manager have studied HR as an education? If he has not, does he have a skill to do that job? And is there exposure for it? Has he worked in a similar setup? Has he worked in an Indian company or has he worked in a global company? Has he worked in a listed company or a non-listed company? So for me, I think so these 3 things are very critical. So, but yes, the game changer will for I think so for anyone and everyone in HR would be attitude. So your positive attitude, the way you approach towards your
Is very
approach towards the interview is I think so half your battle is done.
सो थोड़ा सा एटीट्यूड को और एक्सप्लेन करेंगे मतलब हमें थोड़ा सा एक सेंस एक फील आ रहा है बट आप ऐसे बताइए कुछ एग्जांपल के साथ कि ये ना करें और ये करें.
Very simple, I'll say, Vaibhav. And though it's very easy now to fake it, and we have seen because we all have experienced wrong mishires, wrong choices. So it's easy to fake it, but then I think so you're probing the way you probe. So so how open are you for the job? So people are mobile, they are not mobile. What is the attitude towards? How do they handle their teams? So like simple questions like if you ask that do you have a team? How do you handle your team? Will give a lot of reflection on the attitude. And how do they? So there's a very thin line between dumping and delegating. So if you're hiring a people manager, if you're hiring someone at a role who has a large team, and during the interview you feel it's only I and I and I and I. He's only talking about I have done this, I have done this, I have achieved this, I have achieved this, despite using we.
Yeah.
So which means somewhere he's not a people leader. So I think so as an HR, you become with the quantum of interviews that now you take, the people you meet, you become aware of that. Once you probe, it's very easy for you to understand. So it reflects your attitude will reflect, uh, and so I'll say that the harder you probe into the person's life, the ways of working of his. Simply ask. So I generally do. I simply ask. Tell me, describe your day. Just describe me your day. How do you handle? So how much time is he giving to his team in that day? How much time does he, or even if his deliverables, how much aligned he is with the business goals, or does it say his individual agenda is driving in? So it's easy. We can. Otherwise, these
Absolutely.
days it's also easy with the help of, I think so, with a lot of people, companies have started using a psychometric test. So these psychometric test helps you a lot. So that also gives you a, but then again you need to validate it. You need to know the art of validating the test with the real personality of the person. So I think so if you combine these two, you can easily get. But again, there would be your misfires.
हाँ,
We always have wrong hires in the company.
तो कोई है ऐसा एग्जांपल
होते हैं
रॉन्ग हायर
बहुत.
वाला?
So there are a lot of. I'll rephrase myself. It is not wrong hire. No one joins in this company with a bad intention. It is a cultural misalignment or a misfit. I have been
Misfit.
personally in an organization where I joined with a lot of energy, enthusiasm, but then I realized that this company is not meant for me, and I left it in just 8 months. So, and it doesn't mean that I had the wrong attitude, but I
Yeah.
said that it is because maybe my cultural alignment was not there.
Not really.
So, but yeah, there are people who have a lot of attitude. There is a lot of I, me, myself, and that's
नहीं,
why I said that how important the role of HR head is, because you manage emotions. You have to
करेक्ट,
manage emotions at work.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah.
नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो आप, जो आप एग्जांपल दे रहे हो. आई थिंक that company is great, doing well. You have been
Yeah.
doing well in your career, so it was all about the being
True.
not being the right fit.
Right.
There is nothing wrong neither in the company nor
Right.
in you,
Right.
but it was, so that's the main duty of an HR to find out कि ये व्यक्ति, ये कैंडिडेट इसके लिए सही फिट है
True.
कि नहीं,
True.
है ना. और दूसरी बात जो आपने कही अभी, लास्ट वीक संजीव सर आए हुए थे जो ZT के हेड HR हैं, तो उन्होंने भी यही लाइन बिल्कुल वही कि अगर वो अपने कन्वर्सेशन में बार बार आई कर रहे हैं बीइंग अ
Right.
पीपल मैनेजर, तो आप इजीली आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो कि कितना सेल्फ सेंटर्ड
Right.
वो है. सो दिस आल्सो शोज अ लॉट अबाउट योर एटीट्यूड.
Right.
कैन यू टेल मी अ बिट अबाउट बीइंग प्रॉपरली ग्रूम्ड, बिकॉज जब भी मैंने आपको देखा है, आप 10 on 10 in
I'll take
dressing.
it as a compliment then.
Yeah, obviously you're
So
pocket square, well dressed and
I
everything.
think so, Vaibhav, it is the first जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. Firstly, and it's the first step when you enter into a room. And when I say that you bring an aura, you bring a personality. It starts with your first physical presence. So it is very important for your, for a, I'll say, and not even in HR, in any role if you are, that you follow power dressing mode. So there are a lot of books, there are a lot of research. Now YouTube is there, you can research a
Yeah.
lot on power dressing. But
Okay.
if you approach to an interview, I always say that your dressing has to be very crisp, appropriate. You cannot risk there. And even when you are at job, even if you're going there at job, people see you, people observe you, the way you dress up, the your hairstyle, to your beard grooming, to your personal hygiene. I think so. So this plays a very important part in your success, because a lot of people look you as they try to imitate your style. A lot of people try to look you, to follow you.
Yeah.
And this is where I think so. This is one point where you can inspire people. So a lot of people, I have worked with leaders where I have been inspired with their dressing styles. And I have also seen leaders who are extremely good, but their dressing style at times becomes so shabby that it becomes difficult for them. So it's for me. It's, I think it's a deal breaker. It's always good to dress well, to look well, because it brings a confidence in you. So yeah, that's the mantra I follow. Every day you should be prepared for the war. So the way you enter the war, you wear your armor, you wear your best dress, and go.
Great.
Yeah.
Any specific tips कि इंटरव्यू के दौरान एक दो ऑप्शन क्या पहन के जाना चाहिए, क्या ना
Simple,
पहने?
simple.
हम्म
So if you are going, firstly try to wear blazers.
हम्म
If you're going there, you can team up like a royal blue navy blazer. This will
हम्म
never go off.
हम्म
With a white or a navy blue shirt, light
हम्म
blue shirt. You can always go with the grays. The grays will help you again with the white shirt.
हम्म
If you are not wearing a blazer, then I'll say wear either a navy blue pant or a khaki pant or a gray pant
हम्म
coupled with white shirt, again crisp white shirt,
हम्म
and or a very light shade of blue. If you can pull it off, you can take a light shade of pink also,
हम्म
but keep it to the basics. Your shoes play a very important part, so you need to see that
हम्म
what sort of shoes you're wearing, because every attire comes up with a particular sort of footwear. So you need to take care of that. Your accessories, and generally just go with one accessories, which is a good watch. I'll say
हम्म
invest on yourself. That will help you a lot. So I always say that at least invest on two blazers or two set of suits, formal suits, which is one is for navy blue blazer
हम्म
and one is a good gray suit, formal suit. I think
हम्म
that these two suits are good enough. And if
बिल्कुल
the person is not wearing suit, invest in a good white shirt.
हम्म
That's it.
Thank you, sir, for those tips. And I think those were absolutely gold. And I also believe that grooming plays a very important role, not only in interview, as an entrepreneur
Right.
also, और कहा जाता है कि dress up for the job you want, not for the job you have. So
Wow.
always be ready.
So rightly said.
Yeah. सो इसके साथ साथ एक हम बात कर रहे थे अबाउट बीइंग द राइट फिट।
Hmm.
तो हम बिल्कुल मानते हैं, जैसा हमने बोला कि इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि द गाय वाज रॉन्ग और द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाज रॉन्ग, इट वाज ऑल अबाउट दैट दे वर नॉट मेंट फॉर ईच अदर। तो इंटरव्यू में आप कैसे डिसाइड करते हो या कैसे चेक किया जा सकता है कि दिस
Hmm.
पर्सन इज द राइट फिट फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और नॉट,
Hmm.
और अलाइन विद द विजन? और कैंडिडेट कैसे चेक कर सकता है कि इज दिस द राइट कंपनी दैट आई शुड गो?
So I'll share you my mantra. I'm
हम्म
not sure about others. So
हम्म
I remember when I was picking Kama Ayurveda. So
हम्म
first thing is that you always have an access to the values of the company on the internet now.
हम्म
You have to go, you do your research work. These days the kids are very smart.
हम्म
They go and first thing is they go and do the research work.
हम्म
So I remember when I went to the site and I saw that the values are, for Kama, the values are being kind, authentic, balanced, time tested.
वाओ
That word kind
हम्म
hit me personally, because as an HR, if your value system is being kind,
हम्म
then I realized that how important the HR role becomes in, because kind
राइट
to people is the role that I have to deliver. So that my values were
वाओ
aligned, and I generally do it with every time when I go move or take a career move.
हम्म
So similarly, when I am interviewing,
हम्म
so when I know that your first priority is the value, the worst value for me is kindness. So my interview, the questions that I ask in the HR round, of course the technical rounds happen. The questions that I ask, my entire questionnaire is focused on understanding how kind an employee is or the candidate is. Firstly, towards his environment, towards his, because if he's kind towards the environment, if he's kind towards his people, then that person is the perfect fit for me.
वाओ
So, firstly, as an interviewer, we need to see that how we have calibrated our interviewers towards the company values. Lot of time happens that the interviewers are not even aware of the company values. So I think so that's the role the HR heads or the senior HR professional has to play in. Firstly, you imbibe the value system in your employees
बिल्कुल
so that they are calibrated and they know that how they structure the interview. So I think so for a candidate, it's very easy. You go on the website,
हम्म
you see the value system of the company. At least see that are you aligned to that value system, even if one. So in my case, it was only one, but that was a very powerful value for me. And I realized that this is gonna be a great company. If the value is real value, it's gonna be great company for me, and it is turning out right now because kindness and HR. I think so. HR has a huge role to play.
बिल्कुल
So I'll if and a lot of companies these days have technology as a value, embracing technology or entrepreneurial mindset. So you'll see a lot of organizations have this value system of entrepreneurial mindset, change, or curiosity, passion.
बिल्कुल.
So you need to first introspect yourself that are these values inside you, and then you go forward. So, and similarly for the HR round, you need to change your
Check.
questionnaire. You need to see which is the paramount value that you don't want to compromise. So
Great insight. And I think पहली बार ये जनरल टीम वर्क और इंटेग्रिटी हम कई बार देखते हैं,
yes,
बट ये काइंडनेस मैंने भी पहली
unique.
बार
It's,
सुना है.
in fact, in my entire career, I'll say the move that I picked up from PNB housing to Kama Ayurveda was only because of this one unique value system. Because so
That's just so awesome. I think we should also have this value. I'm very impressed with this because I think it's one of my core value of mine personally, that kindness. And हमने बहुत सारी और चीजें रखी हैं अपने वैल्यू में और हम बोलते हैं, बट दिस इज वेरी पावरफुल. ग्रेट. सो ये थी टिप, कैसे चेक करें कल्चरल फिट. आप खुद फिट है कंपनी के लिए नहीं, या कंपनी में कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं एचआर. एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टिप होती है, एचआर से सैलरी कैसे नेगोशिएट कर सकते हैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा.
I am not the right person. I think I'm worst in doing this.
Okay. So you give a lot of salary to people?
No, I have been the worst negotiator
For
when I have
yourself.
picked
खुद
up
के
all
लिए.
the career moves. But I'll be very honest. Firstly, is that and to sum up that you create your own brand. Firstly, if the people, I'll rephrase in two halves. Firstly, people who are starting their career. You should not focus purely on salary. These days, 30% is the norm. And HR will give you that. Don't worry. A lot of good organizations have started working on compensation practices, equal pay parities, and all. So you will get that. You should first, if you're starting your career, you should first try to get in the right company.
बिल्कुल.
So again, if you go back, the values are fitting in. You go into, and the kids are smart. You go into the LinkedIn, you see my boss, which college he's passed out, or what has been his employment journey, and you know that okay, this guy is IIT, and this guy is a TIS pass out, or this guy is an IIM pass out. Right. He has worked in this company for 5 years. He has taken up 2 promotions. So sab dikhega journey mein. Yeah. I think so. Then you should take that move. Decision. Salary will anyways come. So first initial, I think so. You should focus on this. Of course, when you spend 4-5 years and then you want to have salary negotiations. So I'll say be real. Do not fake it. A lot of times we have seen that we have to let go very good candidates because they have faked their salaries. Correct. And this happens a lot in sales, and especially kids, the young kids who are coming into, they feel that we are not aware of what's happening in the environment, but we are very well aware. There are reports now being published that what's the average base pay, what is the salary in the market. So be real. Secondly, when you present yourself as a product, as a brand, which the HR really wants. So I'll compare it. So recently I've developed this habit of buying stocks. So I love trading a lot. Great. So I compare myself also as a stock, and I'll give an example that everyone should consider themselves as a stock. Stock has a high, has a low, and the normal people, they want to buy certain stocks. Yeah. So जब से budget आया है, people are buying energy stocks, solar stocks. Right. Consider yourself as a stock. Okay. So you need to create that environment in the market so that when people are picking you up, they know what they are buying, and they will pay that premium for you to buy. True. So rather than just negotiating with HR, नहीं मुझे ये दे दो, I want 5% more or 10% more, because then you also create an impression in the HR at times that okay, this guy is only coming for money. For money. So you need to see your stakes also. Firstly, do you really want to that role? Just for the sake of 4-5%, do not let that role go. The role will give you a lot of things in future. And second thing is create the value of a stock for yourself. You should be that blue chip stock or that premium stock that the HR wants to.
They will pay.
They'll pay you. Then during
Absolutely.
the interview, you have that opportunity to impress that person so that
Absolutely.
they pay that premium for you.
Great. I 100% agree. In fact, as I was telling you कि हम लोग ट्रू सीवी बहुत सारे NGOs के साथ स्किलिंग प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करते हैं. तो जैसे तो ट्रू सीवी टैगलाइन इज गेट रेडी फॉर जॉब. So be it resume writing, interview preparation, LinkedIn makeover and skilling. तो उसमें भी कल ही मैं तीनों सेंटर पे हमारी विजिट थी. तो मैं और धीरज वहाँ पे गए थे, लोगों से बात कर रहे थे, ट्रेनर से भी बात कर रहे थे. तो उनसे मैंने यही बोला कि आप स्किल होने पे एक्चुअली वो सीखने की, यहाँ के बाद कहाँ आप जॉब करने जा रहे हो, डोंट फोकस ऑन मनी राइट नाउ. तो अगर आप स्किल्ड हो गए, सो आई व्हाट माय फेवरेट, आई डोंट नो किसने ये निकाला था, बट एग्जांपल इज कि द वैल्यू और द अमाउंट यू गेट इज स्किल मल्टीप्लाइड बाय टाइम इज इक्वल टू मनी. सो जितना आप स्किल होते जाओगे, और हमने बोला कि हम आपको 1 नहीं, हम तो 0.5 ऐड करके आपके में बस दे रहे हैं. वी आर जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूसिंग यू टू, जैसे हमारे कुछ कोर्सेज हैं जैसे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का या हॉस्पिटैलिटी का, हम कर रहे हैं आपको उस इंट्रोडक्शन, बिकॉज 2-3 महीने के शॉर्ट कोर्स में आप क्या सिखा सकते हैं. तो अब तो आप जाओगे, आप इंटर्न बनोगे कहीं पे, फोकस ऑन लर्निंग, एंड जैसे आप अपनी स्किल बढ़ाते जाओगे यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग बेटर सैलरी. बिकॉज कोई भी ऐसी जॉब हो, अगर कोई ऑटो चला रहा है और आपसे बोलेगा कि भैया मेट्रो तक जाने के मैं 50 रुपए होते हैं, मैं 500 लूंगा क्योंकि मैं 15 साल से चला रहा हूँ. नॉट गना वर्क. He's doing the same job again and again.
Right.
So it does not work like that, क्योंकि वो कोई किसी ने 6 महीने से भी ऑटो चला रहा तो उतने ही पैसे लेगा. So unless he has created a ब्रांड की, यार वो ऐसा इन्फ्लुएंसर है कि लोग उसके ऑटो से ही जाना चाहेंगे. So you rightly said, if the person has to work on that skill,
yes,
and create the value for, and money will follow.
And मैं ये भी कहूँगा वैभव that मैं एक लाइन यूज करता हूँ, आज का अखबार कल बेकार. So very critical for you is to rescale yourself.
True.
So we have all done our MBAs, ठीक है, but the capabilities are changing. There are paradigm shifts. There are radical change that is coming in the environment.
Absolutely.
And a very clear example that now, if a guy used to have presentation as a skill, preparing PPTs, now PPTs are being prepared, and recently we have been exposed to chat GPTs and better version of chat GPTs, which are preparing PPTs in lesser than 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
So now, which means that your skill need to be more on a strategic side. How well you can visualize and how well you can present that.
Absolutely.
So you need to reskill a lot. So a lot of things have changed. It's evolved, and you need to just befriend technology. You should be aware what's happening in and around. How soon you can adapt yourself into that environment. That is critical, and it will be for all of us. For you, me. We have all heard stories of Kodak, जो हमारे बचपन में इकलौता होता था, Nokia.
Actually,
so these are the examples who didn't adapt to the the environment, and they have all
they are gone.
They're gone. They're dinosaurs now.
Absolutely. So you just talk about the changes. It's not about who can do this. अभी anyone can do this.
Right.
Everybody knows. वो दौर नहीं है कि जो लोग पूछते थे कि एक्सेल आता है कि नहीं, तो पता नहीं क्यों वी लुकअप एच लुकअप तो हर क्वेश्चन का पार्ट हुआ करता था.
सबसे टफ होता है एक्सेल.
और उसके बाद लोग लिखते थे अपने सीवी में, आई नो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस. सो हु कैन डू, एवरीवन कैन डू इट. व्हाट नीड टू बी डन, और वो स्ट्रैटेजी क्या, कब और कैसे होना चाहिए. तो इसके साथ साथ और क्या चेंजेस आप you can predict or you are seeing for HR aspirants, HR में और क्या क्या changes आ रहे हैं और आने वाले हैं.
First thing first is that lot of people in HR have survived their careers being a specialist roles. If I am a talent acquisition, I like to be in talent acquisition. If I am a payroll guy, I would like to be a payroll guy. This approach has to be changed. I personally followed it. I have always adopted to a multidisciplinary, and I said in the beginning that I picked up a role very late. In fact, my last role, for the first time, I handled payroll. That gave me a confidence that I can become an HR head. So
Wow.
that multidisciplinary approach
Hmm.
is the key right now. You cannot survive with one skill on the table now.
Hmm.
You need to bring that one skill, so we expect you to be a master. For sure, you have to be master of that one skill.
Hmm.
But you need to have that multidisciplinary approach in HR for sure.
Hmm.
Second thing is you need to think beyond HR. So if you don't talk and you are an HR head, if you are not aware of the gross margin the company is operating in, the EBITDA percentage the company is right now, what is the year-on-year growth, what is the last year growth versus this year growth, if you don't resonate with these numbers, though a lot of HR shy away with these numbers, and
True.
you don't resonate with these numbers, your entire strategy for HR will be failed. You know that
Absolutely.
you are missing break even by 1% and you are presenting an HR agenda where you have asked for a 5% increase in your last year HR budget. Doesn't work that way. So you need to
True.
be very well aligned with the business. So
Hmm.
think beyond HR. How you can add value to the business first. So multidisciplinary approach for sure. You should not restrict yourself. If I'm a, and this happens a lot of time with payroll people. I don't know why. So they pick up payroll. They want to end up their life with payroll at time. You have a lot of things to do. You can pick up HR technology. You can pick up talent acquisition. You can, and any given part of your life you can learn these things. These days YouTube, I think the YouTube University has become a revolution.
Right.
So I personally use YouTube a lot for my personal learning. So if I can use, I think so anyone can use YouTube University these days.
What we
You
are
guys
doing,
are doing
what
the same.
what we are doing right
You
now.
guys
Yeah.
are doing the same, and it's easy, it's free,
Yeah.
and no one is stopping you, and no manager will. I say no manager will stop you from innovating.
Yes.
So innovation is the key. How you reinvent the wheel, that is important.
Absolutely. And I think ये जो आपने बात की कि धंधे की समझ वाली, that's how
बहुत
this HRBP वाला
बिल्कुल
चीज आया है, that this ये journalist HR से हटा के connect the HR with the business, human
So
resource
I have a
business partner.
different thought. So
अच्छा.
because it's been talked a lot that HR business part, not only HR BPs,
Yeah.
I think talent acquisition also. धंधे की समझ talent acquisition को भी होनी चाहिए.
True.
धंधे की समझ तो पेरोल वाले को भी होनी चाहिए. So I think so any HR function, any HR employee, any HR contributor should know that first thing is how the company makes money and how you can contribute to the company's success in making money. If you understand these two things,
Absolutely.
your job is done. So धंधे की समझ तो बिल्कुल होनी चाहिए, और मैं तो कहता हूँ हर एक एम्प्लॉय को होनी चाहिए कंपनी में. And if as an HR you can imbibe this value that every employee, and these days a lot of companies do that. Now your first goal in the goal setting is a financial goal or the top line goal. So अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है कि कंपनी पैसा कैसे कमा रही है, या जैसे मैंने बोला किस ग्रॉस मार्जिन पे काम कर रही है, तो ये खाली बिजनेस पार्टनरिंग के लिए नहीं है. दो HR VPs आर कंसिडर्ड बिकॉज बोर्ड रूम में उनको सारे नंबर्स रटने होते हैं, प्रेजेंटेशंस देने होते हैं, बट नो, आई थिंक सो इवन फॉर मी, इवन अ कंप्लायंस गाय, he should know business and he can contribute. So if a compliance guy ensures that zero litigation, zero notices,
correct,
he is contributing to the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Similarly, if a talent acquisition guy, he ensures that I only show you 2 people per position, he's saving hell amount of money firstly on the time front. So if imagine if I am taking an interview sitting with a CEO and we are only meeting 2 candidates, imagine the time that has been saved.
Yeah.
So I'll say TA also plays an equivalent role. So does talent management. If the people are getting the right, if the nurturing is happening the right direction, you are creating people leaders, you are creating succession planning, you are developing the team, you are improving the learning curve, so you are contributing to the business. So though I am an HR VP personally, but I now feel as now when I'm doing the HR head role, I feel no, it's an equal share to everyone. Everyone has. It is just that they are considered as business partners, but I feel every HR individual in the team, in my company, I'm very fortunate that even the receptionist report to me in the part of admin team. And whenever I meet him or whenever he comes to me 6 monthly discussions, I say that you are the biggest contributor because you are the strategic interface between the external and internal customer. The first point of contact.
Yeah.
The first point of contact that that person makes with
Yes.
the you are giving him. So imagine anyone entering the Kama office and my receptionist is greeting them with kindness, giving them water to drink, a space to sit,
Right.
guiding them where to go.
Yeah.
Though it's his job,
Yes.
but then also you have seen people struggling with these things. So he is
Absolutely.
contributing to the success. So I'll not say that it's only HRBPs, but it's
Absolutely.
everyone in the HR team and everyone in the company who can contribute.
Definitely. How you take your job and deliver it. There is a story that I would like to share a small story कि जैसा आपने बताया ठीक इस पे कि एक व्यक्ति जा रहा होता है और देखता है कि एक बंदा पत्थर पे हथौड़े मार रहा है, कह रहा है क्या कर रहे हो, तो कहता है देख नहीं रहे हो मैं पत्थर तोड़ रहा हूँ। फिर आगे बढ़ता है तो वो कुछ सीमेंट का वो कर रहा होता है, तो कह रहे हैं कि क्या कर रहे हो, तो यार सीमेंट मिला रहा हूँ। फिर एक बंदा और था वो छीनी थोड़ी सी कुछ कर रहा है, देन ही सेड कि व्हाट आर यू डूइंग, देन ही सेड कि आई एम मेकिंग दिस ब्यूटीफुल पैलेस। सो जस्ट सिर्फ अपना काम करना एंड कंसिडरिंग एंड नोइंग दैट कि हाउ योर रोल इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग, वो उसको बहुत सारे आपने देखा रिसेप्शन पे आप जाओगे और पूछेंगे और फॉर्म भर दो एंड वुड नॉट एंटरटेन यू, एंड एज यू सेड राइटली दैट दिस लेवल ऑफ डिस्कशन यू हैव विद योर पीपल एंड एम्प्लॉय दैट कि आप पहले पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट हो, जैसे आप ट्रीट करोगे वैसा ही एक्सपीरियंस उसका होने वाला है इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में। सो टेकिंग योर जॉब प्लस योर नॉलेज, जो अभी हम इससे प्रीवियस उस पे थे, आपने बताया धंधे की समझ के साथ एक टी नॉलेज अप्रोच होती है, टी शेप, हाँ, कि आप अपने एक उस पे तो आपको इन डेप्थ नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, बट एक ओवरऑल समझ आपको पूरे फंक्शंस की होनी चाहिए, वाइडर नॉलेज होनी चाहिए। Awesome, great sir, ये this was great, बहुत insightful रहा, and now we would like to end this with your last message। आप क्या देना चाहेंगे उन कैंडिडेट को जो कामा आयुर्वेदा ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं, what they should expect in terms of growth, in terms of culture and career at Kama?
So Kama is firstly a very vibrant young company, and we are very aggressive when it comes to hiring, because and if you are really looking for a challenging work environment with this transition of Indian company and a global partner, you are welcome. It has to be kindness for sure. We only look forward for people who are kind. Okay, so if you have this flair towards that I can be kind to people, kind to planet, kind to stakeholders, kind to anyone, everyone around, you are most welcome to join Kama. And when you join Kama, so we are lucky, we have 3 sets. So we also have our own factory based in Coimbatore. So we have factory, we have retail footprints, we are close to 150 odd doors now. So, and then we have a corporate office. So though corporate office hiring is not that aggressive, because corporate office attrition is always less, but we are very aggressive when it comes to retail hiring. Retail hiring, we are very clear that we look very passionate people who, firstly, because we are into beauty industry, so we focus a lot on hygiene, because it's a beauty industry, and you need to sell a premium product.
True.
So we look people who are come with good hygiene. We are ready to invest in them. We have a very strong learning model, so we want to build a very strong team. We have been in this space for last 12 years now. We have now been picked up with very strong global partner. So the career and the growth trajectory is immense in Kama, and that's the reason I said that for next 5 years I do not see myself moving out. So those are tall and a bold claim, but I would love to live to it. So maybe 5 साल बाद आप मुझे बुलाओ, and if I'm still there, it will prove right.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
My message would be same, that if you really looking for a mixture of India and a global brand, then Kama is the right mix for you. But you have to be kind. Otherwise, we are all open, and we are very fun-loving company. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can follow us on our LinkedIn page. You can see that how we work, the spirit of Kama people, and because being a retail, it's a very customer centric. So you have to be ready to listen to a lot of good, bad, ugly words also. So that's it, and we are very much open to any
Great.
sort of people, any community, anyone. Anyone is welcome to come.
Great, sir. And whatever you have said, I believe because I keep seeing your post. What a fun-loving post you put,
Thank
and
you.
it's great to see. And this discussion has been so inspiring and amazing. And I'm sure बहुत सारे लोगों को बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा आपसे. और कामा आयुर्वेदा के बारे में और जानना है अगर आपको तो आप लिंक्डइन पे फॉलो करिए. और मैं तो पोस्ट देखता ही रहता हूँ सर की. And be kind, and we hope कि आपको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा. मिलते हैं आपसे नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में. और सर थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you.
आने के लिए. इट हैज बीन
Pleasure.
a
Pleasure is
pleasure.
all mine. Thank
थैंक
you.
यू सो मच. धन्यवाद दोस्तों हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए. अगर आपको ये एपिसोड पसंद आया है तो प्लीज लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब टू अवर चैनल फॉर मोर सच इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस. एंड कमेंट में हमें बताइए कि आप नेक्स्ट किस फील्ड के एक्सपर्ट या एचआर से मिलना चाहेंगे. ऑल्सो डू शेयर दिस वीडियो विद योर फ्रेंड्स एंड जॉब ग्रुप टू हेल्प अदर्स. हम मिलेंगे आपको अगले वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए टेक केयर एंड ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर इंटरव्यू.